Fallout New Vegas starts with a bang. Literally, the main character, Courier 6, finds themselves in a shallow grave. Benny gives a bit of a monologue saying, "The game was rigged from the start." I'm not sure if Benny knew that he was breaking the fourth wall here or not, but anyway, Benny then shoots Courier 6 in the head. It would have been an awfully short game if the Courier had died at this point, and I don't think the fan base would have been very happy about it either. Obsidian also would not have even had a shot at making the mythical 85 Metacritic score with the game. Could Courier 6 really have survived this shot to the head if it happened in real life? That's the question that I aim to answer today. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Let's first dispel some myths. Contrary to what happens in movies, if you get shot, even in the arm or the leg, it can kill you. You have a network of major arteries in your body. If a bullet severs the femoral artery in your leg or the brachial artery in your arm, you will bleed out extremely fast and die without medical attention. If you do survive the initial encounter but don't get medical attention, you will probably die from infection. Even if you don't die from a gunshot wound to the limb, once your adrenaline runs out, you're going to be having a bad day. All in all, guns are very deadly. Except obviously when they're in the hands of Benny for some reason. We know that Courier 6 was shot in the head with a pistol at a range of around 2 meters or 1/12 of a school bus for our American viewers. Once you get to the strip and pry the pistol out of Benny's cold dead hands, you will find that the pistol he used to give the Courier's head a new speed hole is a special gold-plated pistol called Maria. This pistol is chambered in 9mm. I'm sure you've all heard of 9mm before because according to Target Barn, 9mm is the most used handgun caliber in the world. A 9mm bullet may seem small, but since it's got a muzzle velocity of around 270 to 400 meters per second, it can do some serious damage. For context, 400 meters per second is around 1,400 kilometers per hour or 900 miles an hour, which is significantly faster than a commercial plane flies. Powerful, but it wouldn't quite blow the lung out of your body. Whereabout Courier 6 was shot in the head is important. Research featured on the American Association of Neurological Surgeons suggests that in the US, gunshot wounds to the head are fatal around 90% of the time, with many victims dying before they even arrived to hospital. This research also states that 50% of the survivors suffer from seizures and other life-changing brain trauma injuries. There is a zone in the head known as the T-zone, also called the T-box, but we're going to call it the T-zone for now. The T-zone is a roughly T-shaped area from the outside of one eye socket to the outside of the other eye socket, and it extends down the bridge of the nose to the upper lip. If you are shot in this area, it is lights out. The chance of you surviving a shot to this area is minute. So minute that it's almost insignificant. Unless the Courier has plot armour a mile thick, we can assume that they were not shot in this area. The Courier was probably shot on either the right or left side of their forehead, with the bullets striking only one lobe. From what we have seen, if the 9mm bullet entered and didn't hit anything serious in the brain, then it would be around a 5% chance that the Courier would survive and not have any lasting injuries. Having a traumatic brain injury, such as being shot in the head, can result in post-traumatic amnesia or extreme changes in personality. This could explain why the Courier didn't seem to remember much from before the time they were shot. They didn't remember having a hand in the destruction of the Divide. The extreme changes in personality could also be why my version of Courier 6 is a murderous psychopath going on a rampage all the way from Goodsprings to the Strip. All good so far. We've established that Courier 6 could have survived one gunshot wound to the head, but there's a problem. Multiple online sources say that the Courier was not actually shot once in the head. The Courier was shot twice in the head. There is some online debate about this, but from the looks of some dialogue which is in the game, it is true. The Courier really did get shot in the head twice at the start of the game. This is even stated in the wiki page for Courier 6. Assuming that Benny's shot groupings on the Courier's head were tight, I still think that the Courier could have a chance to survive but that chance of surviving and not having permanent traumatic brain injury would be very low. On top of this, the Courier was buried for some time before Victor the robot came along and dug them out of the grave. Most people who survive gunshot wounds to the head or traumatic brain injuries usually get medical care promptly after their injury has occurred. I seriously think that the Courier would have had a less than 1% chance of surviving this ordeal. Even if the Courier had survived long enough to get to Doc Mitchell, they would have most likely either died on the operating table or lived with debilitating traumatic brain injuries, which would render them either prone to seizures or in a completely vegetable state. To sum up, I do think that there is an extremely tiny chance that the Courier could have survived the 2 gunshot wounds to the head and then being buried, possibly a 1 in a million chance. But to survive this ordeal and then not have any lasting medical issues such as seizures is extremely unlikely. I would say that 99.9999% of the time, if this scenario had happened, the Courier would still be dead in that grave. Do you think that Courier 6 could have survived? Comment down below and tell me what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one.